Welcome to Our Home, Your Holiday. I'm your host, Yenta Liu. When diving deep into local culture, typically specialty cuisine is at the forefront. So let's do that. Situated on this very big lot is this unassuming container. This place sells a number of Aruban snacks and dishes. It is locally very well known for their soups. But if you want soup, you gotta move fast. This place sells out of every single one of their soups every day. So I'm gonna run inside before they run out. Tripe soup, also known as sopi di mondongo on Aruba, is not unique to this particular island, but it is considered a Caribbean delight. The soup is typically well known and prepared in Latin America, the Philippines, and the Caribbean, with Aruba offering some of the best. Tripe, which is the edible lining of stomachs from animals such as cows, may be seen as a delicacy or acquired taste for some, but trust me when I say, don't knock it until you try it. This Caribbean recipe is extremely tasty. There is a place in Oranjestad off of this roundabout that sells out of all of its soups, including sopi di mondongo, every single day. Bombini to welcome back snack. All day long, people are coming and going. Most of them are here for soup. The ladies in the kitchen work fast because the orders are constantly coming in. The big pots of soups in this kitchen is what the customers are after. The variety of soups include beef, chicken, oxtail, bean, but arguably the most in demand here is the mondongo. Abello Andrade owns Welcome Back Snack with his wife, Shireen Cruz. He absolutely credits her for the success of their soups and says she makes them with her own hands every single day, with love being the main ingredient.
Bom pensar, mi señora te sopa te traje sopi. Esta traje con hobby cariño, amor. Peseta salibón, todo día. Ta su secreto. Ta su mangnang ta traje todo día.
To their customers, it's the authentic home-cooked flavors in the soups that keeps them coming back.
My mom used to cook mondongo, but she doesn't anymore. So that's why I come here and ask for the mondongo bus. That's the closest to my mom's soup, mondongo soup. If you like to eat Aruban food every day, and you want to have the taste like home, you should come here.
Maintaining that true Aruban flair and taste in their soups is what drives this family-operated business. The master chef behind the dishes, Shireen, who learned how to cook authentically from her grandmother, preferred to let her husband do the talking on her soups, but she did verify how important it is to keep her soups 100% Aruban with a slight point of the finger.
Não tá difícil. Bom, você tem gente com sadije e com por traje e com minha senhora da traje. Tu gente tá gosta sempre. Ora traz o papaya, o bonchi, cucumber, coleslaw. Eta traje nang mané su wela nang sinye. Era sine da traje.
Você tá arubiano, ¿no? Truly arubiano.
Truly.
E comida también.
Sí.
Sí, and es importante.
Claro.
Unlike Seinfeld, this soup place is known for being friendly in a fun-loving way. Abello puts good humor in his customer service.
Tingo dinango tá facioso, pero não está estimanang, não está estimanang. Não está estimanang. Mané senhora aqui, já sabe lá hace 80 anos. Nós, também estou com mama para nós, todo dia tá bem. Se é não bem todo dia, tu ainda tá punta para pele com a senhorita Norma. Agora bom, eu digo bisa senhorita, porque se você senhora, não tá gusta, tá rábia.
It is time to meet Norma. She lives nearby Welcome Back Snack and frequents the place every day. But there's no one better to introduce Norma than Norma herself.
Mi nome é Norma. Norma Simmons, com 2 M e 2 S, pensamento e acabamento.
Saying the recently turned 80-year-old has quite the personality is an understatement. Although this story is about Sopi di Mondongo, she wants to make it clear that that is not her favorite, and she also wants to make it known that she is a very proud Aruban.
The soup that I like is meat soup. No mondongo soup, meat soup. Okay? And let me tell you another thing. My mother is from Saba and my father is from Scotland. And I born here in Aruba. So I am an Arubian.
Fluent in English and Papiamento, the Aruban dialect, Norma has a message for you.
I like the soup. Everybody likes the soup from here. It's very delicious. You have to try it. Pasay sopi ta bom trahata, pasay tu cliente vim buscar sopi aqui. Hopi bom. Eta manchak vriendelijk e kusukasa. Sukasate sunan tuta traha e sopi bom. Ora nan pidi sopi, tuta haye bom sopi.
Every drop of soup from this place is sold out before noon every day. The locals know this all too well and plan ahead if they want to get their hands on the goods.
Because when you pass by, you know already that you're going to see a lot of cars outside parking, waiting for their food. So mostly what I do is when I need to go to work, I pass by here, ask for my food, pay for my food, and 12 o'clock I will come and pick my food to go to work too. Because I know that if I come 12 o'clock, there's everything empty, finished, there's no leftovers.
More than 50 soups gets churned out of here in just a few hours every day. Abello says if you want soup, come early.
8:30 sigur, botar em tur sopi. E promego merdia tin chance que acaba. So timbia pa noon dia nanta acaba sopi nang. And sigur promego je 2:30.
If you do pay a visit to Welcome Back Snack, Norma will likely be here. Regulars are concerned when they don't see her around.
Yes, every time that I don't come, they ask, and where is the girl with the freckles in her face?
I have to tell you, I'm not quite sure who was the main star in that story. Was it Sopi di Mondongo or Norma? Either way, they both contribute to the charm of this place. Let's race over to our next story, and just so you know, the emphasis on the word race is a pun well intended. It's 7 a.m. on a Sunday. The parking lot for this bar is completely full and people are trickling in. What could possibly bring so many people out so early in the morning on their own accord? Well, it's very shiny cars going really, really fast. Within the last few years, the island has been consumed by Formula One races. Let's find out what is so captivating about it.
It's dynamic, it's new, you never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen, and that makes it fun.
It's nice to share a passion, right, with your friends, and you know, even when it's not Sunday, we talk about it. And this is just one of those traditions, I would even say. Like Sunday, we just all come together. You've seen, like, people even have shirts, and it fits well with Aruba. It's always an occasion to have a good time.
The most exciting part is usually the start of the race, because anything can happen at the start. People stall, they don't get away fast, and there's a lot of overtaking, especially in the first lap. So the first lap is usually the most exciting of the race, and then the whole tactics game starts. You know, when to do a pit stop and when not to do a pit stop.
One of the reasons the sport has gained so much popularity on the island is due to the success that Max Verstappen has had. The Dutch native is now world champion. My friends inside tell me if you don't know too much about the sport, check out the Netflix series Formula One Drive to Survive to understand the tactics and strategies behind the drivers. Or else the races will just seem like a bunch of really nice cars going really fast. Because the races happen all over the world in different time zones, the schedule for the events vary. Today, it's at 7 a.m. on a Sunday, but the group has gathered at the oddest hours to spectate. Today, bar owners such as Hans trades in their bartending skills to become baristas in order to accommodate the random schedules. Opening a bar up early hours on a Sunday to pour coffee isn't really ideal, but Hans says he's happy to accommodate the odd hours because he loves the sport. Not to mention, this is extra revenue during hours that normally wouldn't bring in any money.
I mean, it's now Sunday morning and it's 7:30, and we have a crowd of 40 people, and normally on Sunday we would open up at 4 p.m. So you're creating revenue. It's not like regular revenue when you're open for bar hours, but it helps a bit, and we need all the help we can get after 2 years of COVID.
In a sea of orange is a Ferrari fan. Giancarlo was raised in Italy and was into the races as a little boy. He loves watching the sporting events in Aruba. It's always a good time, no matter who wins the race.
We throw jokes to each other, then we have a beer. Even if I lose, Ferrari loses, I'm happy because we have fun, and vice versa.
In case you're wondering, it is thanks to their buddy Mikey that group of guys has custom orange shirts. And it had nothing to do with the camera being there. On race day, that is their attire. 12 years ago, I stood on this parking lot and went inside the original Superfood to do a story on something that is common across all supermarkets on the island. Believe it or not, 12 years later, that topic I did a story on is still relevant today. Before we go any further, let's refresh your memory. Supermarkets across the border all have cashiers, employees who stock the shelves, and consumers. But here on the island, there are extra staff members that I haven't seen anywhere else. And they're usually young adolescent gentlemen bagging your groceries and walking it to your car. But don't be mistaken, just because they wear the supermarket t-shirt doesn't mean they get paid by the business. They rely on your tips as a daily income.
Well, dorku nanta sina hopi, anto ja mi te kere sigun tips nanta traha, de se nota algo mane obligatorio, dorku ta mucho nandi 16, 17 anos, quando não por haya trabalho outro caminho, anto nanta hasi sagi como part-time job.
Supermarket supervisors realize that tourists are unaware of the staff bagging the groceries, rely on tips as an income, then more awareness should be raised by the employers. Let's see what the tourists have to say about this custom.
We didn't give them a tip.
I have no idea, so if we know, of course, we give them a tip, but I have no idea that they weren't getting any salary.
We don't have that back home. People work and they get paid inside as part of the system, rather than the young kids working on their own for tips.
According to the staff members at the supermarket, this is a recognized custom by the locals. However, not everyone thinks it is fair.
Mi ta situ kun nang mister ta pagador di supermarket e no dor di cliente nang. Si e cliente na che duna algo pa su ajuda e tá bom.
We have heard from employers and consumers of the supermarket. Now let's see how the grocery staff baggers really feel about their job.
Me gustei pa sa bambisa, bota tra quieto no. Spune bota bim, bota pack, bota bai pa fu, bota bote, bambisa maximo 3 pa 5. Jai bai back, bota sindurato, jai bota nandro ba sigi pack. Anto ninguém não tá pressionado, não tinha peer pressure, bota que tá. Ora você não tem como gostar a hobby.
Timbia tá duro, passo bota sentido leilão, bota menos. Anto não saco nossa trapa teve que com
Pa dia depende com o dia tá, não é tá varia. Lo máximo que papai de dia bambisa tá dia bom, lo tá 100. Anto dia malo, lo tá 25 para 35 florin.
It's been 12 years. Let's head back inside the grocery store and speak with shoppers to see if they all know that their baggers don't earn an hourly wage and rely only on tips.
At the grocery store checkout, young uniformed men will usually offer their help to you. It is up to you on whether you like their assistance, but they are here to help you, to give you an extra set of hands to organize, pack, and to walk you to your car to load the bags into your trunk. There's a fun fact about the grocery baggers at every supermarket on the island. Do you know what it is? Their only income is tips. The same system is placed across all grocery stores in Aruba, where these workers rely solely on gratuity for their time and effort. This has been the case for at least a decade, yet whether the customers are knowledgeable about this varies. Those who aren't aware include local shoppers.
So I live in Aruba, and the beggars are always here.
And usually, if I have like large groceries quantities like this, I definitely use them. But they would get paid like a little salary, and then on top of it, they will get the tips because I always give them something extra. But now I learned that that extra is actually their salary, so they don't make any money except for what people and customers give them when they do their jobs.
Pam and Bob have been coming to the island for 19 years, twice a year and for 3 weeks at a time. As repeat visitors, let's see if they know about the unique arrangement with the baggers.
You know, we've been coming here so long, I'm really not positive, but I know that somebody told me they work for tips. So every time, no matter what we give them a $3 to $5 tip.
Although the knowledge on this is inconsistent, there's one thing for certain, and that is their help is much appreciated.
Well, it just makes life easier for us as a shopper. I mean, we're in the middle of paying, and they're helping to bag things, and they sort things out properly the way they should be bagged. And I just think they do a wonderful job. Plus, they'll carry them out to your car and put them in your trunk for you.
They always pack it really nice, and if you have suggestions or if you want something different, they always help you out. They bring it to the car for you. They put it in the car for you. So yeah, I love them, and especially with this little one. It's the extra hands that you sometimes don't have, or the time you don't have. And now that I know that what I give them is actually their salary, I'm definitely going to be a little more generous.
The young men I spoke with seem to be content with their gig and enjoy what they do. Let's hear from the baggers themselves.
My job is packer, so I pack for tips. So most of the tourists don't know that. So I don't depend on salary, so I only depend on tips.
My responsibility is to help the client, to give them a good service, and we don't get salary, but we only get paid for tips.
What I love to work with tourists.
I get to know new people from all around the world, so it's pretty good for me.
This neat arrangement these young men have with the grocery stores has evolved into something that has become unique to the island. It seems as though shoppers really appreciate their help and are happy to give them something small in return. At the end of the day, it all just comes down to awareness.
Everybody in the States, no one in the supermarket in the States works for tips. No one. They're all on salary or on payroll somehow. I don't mind it at all. I just think more people should understand that they do not get a salary and that you need to use them and tip them.
Not every customer is aware that the young adolescents rely on generosity to be compensated for their effort and time. But there's one thing they do all know: their help is much appreciated.
It certainly does seem to be the ideal arrangement, since the young men I spoke with seem to be tremendously satisfied with their job. And as you heard from the shoppers, they are pleased with the extra set of hands. Tucked inside the shops at Alhambra is the Brownstone. On the outside, it looks like just another beautiful restaurant. But inside is a small, dedicated team ready to offer you a memorable experience.
Behind the bar at the Brownstone is Brian. He can make some of the best craft cocktails you'll ever sip. But being able to make a good drink isn't always the #1 ingredient to being a great bartender. Genuine curiosity in the patrons at the bar is sometimes what makes that visit to this restaurant so special.
Sometimes people cry at the bar, sometimes people laugh because they want to have a story, they want to tell me, and that's why I think it's important for me as a bartender, but also for the restaurant. People come back when they are here and they know it, they just feel it, and because we are real, and that's the thing.
Being authentic is ingrained in Brian. He loves a good conversation.
I like to know where they are from, and I'm really curious. And I think also a big secret is you have to listen. And it's not a game I play. It's not like, hey, where are you from, where are you going, blah, 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 but it is real. And that is, I think, the people can feel that, and that would make it special.
One of the cocktails that brings guests back to the Brownstone is his signature espresso martini. Every one of them is made with freshly brewed espresso. According to Brian, he's received plenty of testimonials from visitors on the island claiming his recipe is the best of the best.
The secret is also in the shaking, because the longer you shake, the better it gets.
Brian might be onto something. The perfect caramel color on that martini looks immaculate.
Love, hope, and one is for faith. So cheers.
If you can believe it, being behind the bar is quite new for Brian. It wasn't his excellent bartending skills that landed him the job, but his approachable personality and his love for people's stories.
This is my first job as a bartender for 1.5 years. And I don't got any experience with it, only on this side. And the owner asked me, would you like to be our bartender in a new restaurant called the Brownstone? And I was like, okay, I will try it, but I don't know how to mix drinks and everything. And he said, but you can talk. And I said, okay. I said, now we're gonna make you make some drinks, and then you are a full bartender, because a bartender is not like only making drinks, but it's the 50% drinks, and the other 50% is to talk to the guest.
Even in the kitchen, you will hear the same sentiment on providing genuine service to the guests being echoed throughout the small dedicated team at the Brownstone.
The key things from Brownstone is honest. Everybody's honest. There's no false shade or something. There's no fake smiles. It's all we're true. We're true to the people. We give them good food, with love, with passion, with devotion, with that little extra. It's taking that little extra step to where you go, respecting your products. Brian respecting his drinks, his cocktails. I think that's the key factor of Brownstone.
Here at the Brownstone is an intimate team, but their desire to provide genuine service to each and one of their guests comes through all of the staff members. But it's not only with the guests. The level of respect they have for one another is quite special. On the next episode, we venture further down into the chef's domain. Here is a sneak peek.
They're hardworking. They're eager to work. I push them sometimes to just a bit too far maybe, but they're eager. They're learning. And they're fun. This is my family. Huh? This is a family kitchen. It's not because it's beyond colleagues. So it's I'm lucky. Arma secreta is my secret weapon. Any chef should never mess with his dishwasher. This guy is the beating heart of the kitchen. It's not me, it's him. It's true.
For more information on the Brownstone, head over to their website. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show. Go to YouTube and subscribe to our channel for on-demand access on all episodes. We also share content on social media, so follow along. We'll see you there. Why wait? We share behind-the-scenes footage in real time on all the stories we do. Follow along on Instagram and TikTok at Our Home, Your Holiday. Here's what you've been missing. Different versions of TikToks and Instagram Reels are posted for all of the stories. Bistecci is a typical Aruban breakfast. Let's go inside the stand at Moco to explore how it all goes down. You can find a line at this stand every morning. This place has been around for 15 years, and trust me when I say their customers are hoping that they don't go anywhere. Of course, there's many different kinds of bisteccis. For the full story on this and for full episodes, make sure to follow Our Home Your Holiday on Instagram and to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Zoe Loofstock has been an avid kite surfer for over 10 years. She's now an instructor. Kiting means so much more to her than just a sport. It's a lifestyle. She's ingrained in the kite surfing culture, and it's freeing.
You're connected to the elements, you're connected to the wind, to the water, and also the sense of community. When you go kiting, you see your friends kiting, and you're like, hey, or you go, you kite to Arashi together and back, and that's a really nice feeling.
Follow Our Home Your Holiday on TikTok and Instagram for more on-location content. You know the hot sauce that you love? You know which one I'm talking about. Hot Delight Gourmet Hot Sauce. We are here today at the Madame Jeanette Farm and at the Papaya Farm to learn more. You may know it best as Papaya Pica. Do you want to know the secret to their delicious hot sauce? Well, it's taking the stems out of every one of these little Madame Jeanette peppers. It's a local Aruban family recipe passed down from generation to generation. The product originated here, produced here, and bottled here. Who says brunch has to be on a Saturday or a Sunday? What about an elevated brunch experience? I'm about to dive into this, and you can too. The this that I'm referring to is this beautifully crafted dessert with an amazing story behind it. Chef Kel took me on a behind-the-scenes tour of their 4-course luxury brunch offered at Senses Fine Dining. On top of the freshest ingredients, the best part is you no longer have to wait for the weekend for brunch. This is offered on Mondays and Fridays with carefully selected wines. And this story on the dessert is amazing. These bad boys may have originated from China, but trust me, you can find it here in Aruba, on the beach, at a party, even at bars. Now let's find out what makes these little stones so fun. Let's shuffle up and draw. The game of dominoes is very popular on the island, but depending on where you're from, you play a different version. Of course, there's the Aruban way, but also a Dominican way and many others. One of the guys said, the most beautiful thing about dominoes is that it's a universal language and it brings people together. Really excited about the show. The mission and the goal is to bridge the gap between locals and tourists. It's not news, I want to make that clear. Okay. All the topics are evergreen, meaning they're relatable today, but they're also relatable a year from now. So I really just dive deep into the local culture of Aruba, but putting kind of a modern, fresh spin on it. This is my 3rd time living here. I went to school here when I was little. I was a young adult, I lived here, and now I'm a mom and I'm here. So I kind of take all the experiences that I've had.
You can even catch bloopers like this one on Instagram and TikTok.
Oh, okay.
Grab your phone now and hit follow on TikTok and Instagram at Our Home, Your Holiday. Plus, subscribe to YouTube for on-demand access for full episodes.